Hey folks, welcome back to my vlog. Well, it's not really a vlog, it's me telling stories of me. Oh, hey. Wow. What the hell am I doing? I have no idea. You know, all my life, since I was like 10 years old, I liked working for me. I liked working for myself. I liked setting my own hours, doing my own thing, not having some moron who was promoted based on the Peter Principle. And if you don't know what the Peter Principle is, promoted to their own level of incompetence. Which a lot of managers and a lot of supervisors are promoted to their own level of their own incompetence. And it shows, because they take credit for everybody else's work. And I always hated that. I like working for myself. I loved it when I ran paper routes, went to school, cleaned yards after school, mowed yards on weekends, sometimes during the week. I mean, I liked it. I loved it when I did that kind of work. In the summer, I would work at a couple of the farms in the area, 2-3 days a week. One summer, I got a job working at a construction site. It was a blast. Had fun. Made a lot of money. And for a kid, that was kind of cool. The dangerous thing was when I got introduced to computers. That was dangerous because then I crawled inside a room, inside a computer, and I stayed there. And I didn't come out. I think most of 78 and 79, I spent inside a computer. I really don't remember a lot about those 2 years because, well, I was learning programming and I was learning computers and architecture and hardware and bus systems and memory flows and how to compensate for Stack Overflow errors and things like that. Well, that was all great, fine and dandy, and I was good at it, but I lost myself. I forgot how to be a kid. That's okay, you know. I learned later. I'm still a kid, in some ways. But I think part of my problem growing up and being unhappy, yes, I was starting to fight depression. I was starting to fight anxiety issues. And while I started to believe that, yes, there's a chemical imbalance in my brain that gave me the depression, and I understood that logically, I just don't think I ever really accepted it. And the funny part is that now, 39 years later, almost 40 years later, having battled depression and anxiety and PTSD all these years, I'm discovering that I didn't need all the drugs. I didn't need the treatments. I didn't need the psychiatrist. I didn't need the psychologist. What I needed was to change how I thought, how I see the world, how I view the world, how I view my place in it. Because ever since I started doing that, last October, now 7 months later, I'm not depressed. I don't have anxiety. My PTSD episodes have gone to almost nothing. Yes, I know it's still there, but I deal with it better. I deal with it differently. I own it, I face it, I challenge it. but it doesn't affect me. It doesn't take over my life. The only things taking over my life today, right this minute, May 13th, 2019, the only thing that is affecting me these days, the last 3 weeks, is that I made some bad choices early on in the year because shit went wrong, shit broke. I had to make choices. I'm now behind on the mortgage, trying to figure out how to get caught up, trying to figure out how to take care of it. And there's no obvious solution. There's no apparent way out of it. But I'm still working on it. I'm still trying. I'm not giving up. And today, I guess I just hit my point of, what am I going to do? If I sit around and feel sorry for myself and I continue doing the shit I've done in the past, which is crawl into a shell and suck my thumb and cry and go, oh my, what am I going to do? Nothing happens. It just falls apart around me and it gets worse. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, keep trying to build my business, keep trying to build this site up, keep trying to get my Facebook following on my public site going, because yes, now I have a public site which has a group fan page attached to it. And then I have my original Facebook account that I kept open all those years for my daughter, which turned out I also kept it open for my son, who I didn't know about until a month and a half, 2 months ago. But hey, you know, surprise! Surprise, surprise, surprise! That account is actually still there, still active, and some of you are on it. And the ones of you who aren't, well, you'll have to message me directly and ask if you want to be on it, because right there is where I tell all my political, my dirty jokes, my sarcasm. I save all of that for that page. My public page, I keep it clean, keep it PG at worst. Try to keep it G, but sometimes it gets PG. That's why a couple of my friends are not on it, because, well, they're pretty downright rude, crude, and socially unacceptable. But I love them anyways. Because I can be the same way sometimes. The thing is that I'm not going to tell you that depression is a choice. Because it isn't. It's a serious disease, serious illness that affects a lot of people. But what I am going to tell you is there are better ways to treat it than drugs. I'm discovering that firsthand. Now, you can come back in a year and see if I'm still doing good. We'll be the judge. This will be our catalyst, our test. You know, Mayo Clinic has got me down to a cholesterol med, a med for diabetes to keep my blood sugar under control, which is doing an amazing job, and a medication for, granted it's for depression, but it also helps with pain, and it's kind of making it a little tolerable to a point, but most days, well, some of you know the story behind that. It doesn't help. But if I don't take it, I feel even worse. So I guess it does help. It just feels like it doesn't help. Most days feels like I want to chop my legs off at my hips and call it a day, but that ain't going to solve anything. That's just going to give me a different kind of pain. So I decided to keep my pain, live with it, meditate. Got to meditate every day. It's helping. And I know this was pretty much a video of just me rambling about crap, but it is me. And for those of you that are interested in knowing me, it tells you who I am if you're just willing to listen. Because since none of you have bothered to ask me any questions, I have to kind of guess at what to say and what to talk about. And you know, sometimes I just run out of things to say because I spend my days talking to this bloody camera. And I come in here to record the video for you guys to say the things I want to say on my YouTube channel, but can't say. Because frankly, they don't want to hear it. I don't want them to hear it. And, you know, none of their damn business. If they want to hear about me like this, they can come in, subscribe, and donate like the rest of you have. I appreciate it. You all stick around. I'll be back. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.